Okay.
Bum, ba, bum, bum.
We're back. Oh, shoot.
Welcome
Hi.
to, what episode is this? Episode
5.
5.
005. Should we leave?
Should we leave?
Okay, so last time we did this recorded, we were drinking Celsius. I forgot we drank them, and that night I was in my bed like, I was like, and then I couldn't sleep. My heart was racing, and it's getting later and later, and I'm like, why am I bugging out? And then I remembered I had a Celsius, and I was like, oh my God, so I had to take Benadryl to fall asleep. So I don't think those are for me. It made me crazy.
Crazy.
Cuckoo banana crazy.
I need it.
So I'm doing now a can.
With a side of eucalyptus.
With a side of eucalyptus and a little bit of seltzer so I don't get too high.
Okay.
I took an edible last night and
Watched the podcast.
I did. I literally did. I was giggling at our own podcast. Okay. Hello. No, I took an edible after work and I forgot I owed a video still that I was supposed to film that night.
No.
Yeah. So my edible kicks in and I'm like, ooh, I still have to film this video.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I ended up not looking high in it, but it reminded me, my friends and I used to play this game when we were really high. You take a picture of yourself and you try to look pretend the cops are in front of you or your parents are there being like,
okay.
Yeah, no, but you're not high right now. But when you are and you do it, you think you're eating and then you see the picture and it's like, it's so funny.
Is that what your video was about?
No, that was just another thought. But I watched last night the Traitors.
Oh, God, I was meaning to watch
I started it. I watched the first 2 episodes.
Of season 2?
Of season
3?
Whatever just dropped.
Whatever the newest one is.
3. It's good.
I've never seen it before. What's the premise?
It's there's a bunch of, by the way, celebrities. They're really stretching with some of these people. One guy, they're all going around introducing themselves, what show were you on? How do we know you? How do we know you? He's like, I am the King of England's 4th cousin's dog walker's dentist. He's so far removed. I forget what he actually is, but it's okay, you're not that famous.
But
and then they have Zac Efron's brother. It's
actual famous people aren't going to be on that.
Yeah, but they could. The housewives.
True.
Are a little more famous.
Bob the Drag Queen is on this season.
Bob the Drag Queen's on this season.
He's really famous.
So funny, too.
Oh, I have to watch it for him.
Funny.
He's so good.
He's making me laugh the whole time.
Speaking of Bob the Drag Queen, he said, and I was going to talk to you about this. He said he was on a podcast, which was called The Bald and the Beautiful, which is that could have been our name. The
Bald and the Beautiful.
I'm like, damn, they really got us with that one.
Damn.
That would have been such a good name.
That would have been so good.
But it's 2 bald guys that have that podcast.
Okay.
They're drag queens.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was saying on there, he was just what do you think of friend time that you schedule that has a finite amount of time? It's hey, do you want to come over for 2 hours and then leave?
I kind of like that.
With no activity planned. Nothing. What about having are there friends that you could hey, just do you want to just hang out while I'm doing laundry? Or do you want to come run errands with me? And it's not a specific okay, we're going to go see this movie, we're going to dinner, we're going to drinks.
Josh and I are very much like that.
Right.
And that's for anyone who doesn't know. I feel we just reference people in our life. That's one of my best friends, Josh. So you'll hear his name a lot, and I feel he'll just come over and be at my apartment while I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
I kind of like that though.
I feel we should do that more.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this whole to-do.
No, there doesn't have to be a show that you're trying to watch or something you're doing.
Right.
It's just come over and parallel play.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically the idea of couch friends.
Well, it's kind of what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what we're doing.
Yeah.
But
we're doing it.
The idea is just instead of it having to be this whole thing.
Sorry, that tree.
Instead of it being this whole thing, it could just simply be I just like the idea of it being let's just hang out for 2 hours.
I do too.
Sometimes you're hanging out and it's
limit.
It's too much.
I like being
it's okay. Should I go? Should I leave?
I know. I like knowing what's going to happen. Like today, I know that I'm going to stay here for a while until we finish whatever we're doing. And then it's time for me to go to bed.
Yeah, go. But there's times where you could just come over and it's just like, I'm going to do my laundry and we should just chat.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to do that more.
I would say if we weren't doing this,
You're right, we
should do that.
Yeah.
But now we're kind of like talking every day.
Taking a walk with somebody. Like, hey, do you want to go for a walk? Like,
it's very COVID.
30 minutes and then just like, let's be done.
Yeah. See,
I didn't do that in COVID though. I was at home.
I didn't either. I was like,
no.
I'm like not. Are you outdoorsy?
I can be, but no, not particularly.
Yeah, I'm like indoorsy.
We're indoorsy girls.
I'm like an indoorsy girl. Like,
bring the outdoors in.
There's a lot of guys on Hinge that are like looking for my like adventure buddy, like surfing on the beach. Like, I'm like, you're not gonna like me.
Yeah.
Like, they could be so hot, and I'm just like, I know you're gonna hate me.
Right.
It's a no.
It's a no.
It's a no. Like, yeah. Hinge is.
What is Hinge like right now?
It's really dark. It is so dark. My mom called me the other day. My mom like really wants me to get a boyfriend, just like wants me to be happy, and views that as like
the next
what
step.
I need. Yeah.
Okay.
Even though it's like up for debate.
Yeah.
But she's like, you gotta just get out there. And I was like, Mom, level with me here right now. Do you want to go get dressed up and put makeup on and put on an outfit and go sit across from someone that sucks?
Yeah.
She's like, and she was laughing. She's like, I know it sounds horrible.
Right.
I was like, I'm so happy right now. She called me last night when I'm like mid-edible, giggling at our podcast. I'm like, I am having so much fun right now.
And you're ruining my time.
And you telling me to go on a date. Can you imagine getting up and going? You too. Can you imagine right now?
No.
Going on a date. Someone you don't know. Sitting at a table across from them, having to get all dressed up. Like, I'm sorry, but that sounds like what level of hell?
You have to be in a specific mindset to like enjoy and want to go do that. And it takes like some like pumping up. Like,
I know. I'm just really
I'm
enjoying.
Go do this. Like, yeah.
Yeah. The issue is
it's hard.
I'm enjoying my life right now. And I'm happy.
Don't need a man to ruin it.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't want to be going on dates, but I want to find a life partner, a soulmate, whatever. But like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the process.
Chill for
Hinge
now.
is dark though. Everybody's, no offense, but like ugly. I'm no, but that includes me. I mean, like we're all just like the Uggos left over.
Oh,
when you turn 30, Hinge becomes just like
they
think like the guys think all the girls are ugly and the girls think all the guys are ugly. So we're all just like, are we just like the Uggos like left over?
Oh my God.
It's like the Rapture happened and we're just like all left like so none of us are like interested in each other. It's like so dark.
Are you only on Hinge?
Right now I'm only on Hinge, but I'm not really on any of them.
I was like
actively.
Who was I talking about this to? I don't remember, but it's like you just have to pick one. Like,
yeah, I can't handle more than one.
Can't, like, it's Bumble, Tinder,
Raya, Bumble, like
all these things. Like, no, it's just like pick one or two.
Yeah,
because it's too many. It's like it becomes this thing where there's just too many options,
too much admin,
and then you just don't talk to any of them.
Yep.
It's like the whole. I mean, I met my boyfriend on Hinge, so it worked out for me. So
I know it works. I know that it works, but it feels like.
But it is kind of like you have to focus on one, and then just like don't. And I mean, you know this, but like no bullshitting. Like,
no, I know.
If the point is to like go on a date, like I remember.
Oh, if there's one thing I'm not doing right now, it's bullshitting.
Yeah.
I don't have that in me.
But do you remember when dating apps, you first started to get on them, and then you would have like months-long conversations with somebody on there, and then never meet them until like 3 or 4 months after you matched with them? Did that ever happen to you?
Yes. It happened to me one time. So I was always someone who was like, I'm not trying to do a lot of. Actually, I wasn't always this person until this happened to me. Now I'm like, I don't do the small talk for days and months.
Right.
I'm
We're
like,
over it.
Hey, a little bit of banter. Let's get a drink and figure out if this is a thing.
Yeah.
Years ago, like pre-COVID, I was like talking to this guy who seemed super normal. The thing is, when you're texting somebody and you don't know them, you make up who they are.
Right.
In your head. You're filling in so many blanks that you're like, even the way they say it, you're making up so much of who this person is that it builds it up so much. And then you meet them and you're like, you're not the person I've been talking to.
Right.
Like, that's what happened on that really bad date I went on.
Yeah.
Where, like, he was just horrific in person. Horrific.
Okay, tell us.
I just, like, was talking to this guy for a long time. This story is what got Nikki Glazer to ask me to come on her show.
Okay.
So I do owe this man a little bit. Basically, like, I had written down a whole list of things. It was like he called the waitress the R word.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh. He was like showing me pictures of his sister, being like, she's so hot. Like, how hot is my sister? And I was like, okay. He explained to me what a Dalmatian is.
Yep.
Like, as if I don't
No.
know that. He wanted to dine and dash. And I was like, hey, like, no, let's pay.
Yeah.
And he got mad at me for wanting to pay. And
that's so weird.
It was just like, it was so long ago at this point that I don't remember.
Right.
But at the time I had written down so many little like, okay, he asked me to, he was like, can you stop fidgeting? He's like, why are you, can you not fidget for 1 minute? And I was like, and then, and then here's another one. We got a like few drinks and I went in to cheers him for the first one. And then we got a second drink and I went in to cheers him and he goes, you don't have to cheers before every drink. And I was like, yeah, so now I'm like really self-conscious about I'll never initiate a cheers because I don't know. Really? I guess apparently I don't know when it's appropriate.
Wait, cheers whenever you want.
Well, apparently this guy was like, you don't have to cheer. And I was like, no, yeah, I'm sorry.
I wonder where he is now.
He sucked. He was like ugly too. He didn't even look like his pictures. He had like gray hair. He was like, which is fine, but put that on your profile.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, the Coke in Miami is so sick.
What?
I'm like, it was just things that were just bad.
How did you end up on a date with this person? Like, what made you?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Is I think someone can be normal over text, and like, even if they're saying like, okay, let's say he made a comment about Coke in Miami over text, I could in my mind be like, oh, he's so funny and ironic that like he's obviously joking,
right? And
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
he like gets it, but then you're like, oh, you meet them and you're like, oh wait, I was literally making up who you are in my head.
And you are completely
That's
different.
why I don't do that. I just like to match a little bit of banter, see if you can literally do a few back and forth, because if you can't do that, then like...
That's how, I mean, Steven and I matched, and then we had banter for maybe like 36 hours, and then planned a date, and it was like the day before I was leaving to go out of town, and then just like hit it off, and then I saw him when I got back, and then we were just like dating. Yeah. It just like happened.
I know. I don't know what to do.
It's like, so when it happens, it just happens. But I mean, obviously you have all these conversations of like, what do you want? And everything was just aligning. And he's hot, so it worked.
Yeah. Yeah. And he cuts my hair.
Yeah.
So let's keep him around.
We will.
I don't know what to do, because it's like, I want this thing, but not badly enough to like make myself suffer through dating, which has just been, I don't know. It's so weird.
I should go on a date with you.
Me, you, and a date.
Yeah, but I want to sit like literally the next table over, like when you're at those two little two tops, and it's like two people here, like at Winsun. Yeah. And I just want to be like listening, recording.
Listen, I crush on a date.
I want to watch.
Let me tell you right now, it's not me. I'm great company. Yeah. I feel like I can have a conversation with anyone. I can I am such a people pleaser too, that like, I'll just, whatever you say, I'm like, yes, I agree. Like, let's riff off that. I just thought of
you having a conversation with like a garbage can outside that you're wasted and you think it's a person.
Yeah, and it's a garbage can is what's on Hinge also. So it makes sense. But I like will just riff off whatever the person gives me. Like, I'm very easy to, I feel, have a good time with.
And then maybe people like are intimidated by that.
There's rarely a time where I'm like, have you ever met someone where it's like, you make this joke and they're like, what? And then like they make this joke and you're like, what? And you just keep not understanding. And you're like,
Well, no,
I work
but,
with a guy who's like that. Like him and I just don't have the same sense of humor. Like I'll make a joke and he's like, oh, really? And I'm like, no, I'm joking. And he'll say something and I'm like, really? And he's like, no, I'm joking. Like we just don't get each other. But that's rare.
Okay.
Rare. Normally I can go on a date and I can banter and riff and be a good time. It just hasn't worked out yet.
It will.
Yeah. No, it will for sure.
For sure. I'm excited.
I'm excited too because I know whoever I end up with is going to be so funny and so like just like perfect.
It will be.
For me. I'm reading a book called Manifesting Made Easy and you guys don't even know, but like I'm about to be so rich and so hot.
Yeah.
And just I'm manifesting like
we are.
We're going to look back at this and be like, wow, she's a witch. But anyways, point being, I'm letting the universe I'm doing what I want to do, what makes me happy, and it will lead me to the right place and the right people.
Yeah.
And like going on a date right now isn't going to make me happy. I'll do it eventually, but like.
Sorry.
I
want to be home.
Yeah,
I definitely have been in that position before.
Yeah.
Just don't want to do anything.
And that's fine. You're allowed to not want that, you know?
Cheers.
Okay.
Do you make a particular sound after you fart?
Okay, this is interesting. I like don't fart. And I'm not trying to be a pick-me.
You don't fart, you don't pee, you don't do anything.
I'm not trying to be a pick-me, but I swear I really don't fart.
Really?
I like don't, and you can even ask my loved ones. Like ask my sister and she's like, "Oh, you really don't fart."
Damn. After
you make a certain sound?
You know, like after you cough or after you sneeze, you're like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
Or like bless you or bless your heart or whatever.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. I was just seeing if there's any particular like because if you're like farting and it's loud.
I'm like, what noise are you talking? You fart and it's like, ah, like what is it?
It's
no way. Are you serious?
Yeah. Like after I fart,
Wait, what was that game we played once where you had to just like say a random sound?
Oh yeah,
and not laugh.
It was like I'll make a sound and you try not to laugh, like.
And then I make a sound, yeah.
Just back and forth, like.
I'm like, skrinky.
And then you're like, skreet.
And then like, bird.
Oh my God! Wait! Let's do. I saw this on TikTok, and we should try and do it.
Okay.
It's like I make the facial expression, and you provide the sound.
Okay. Yeah.
But what? So I think we just have to like time it right. I guess like if I just go like, and then you.
Yeah. That's what that one was. Okay, you have to do it like right away. Like you can't even think about it. Do another face.
Okay.
Go.
I'm crying. I like literally am crying.
I'm screaming into the mic.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Why I'm in tears.
Wow, that is really funny. Do you want me to do one? Do you want me to make a face?
Okay. I don't know what sound I'm going to do.
Just do whatever comes to your head. Okay, you're crying. Can you see me through tears? Do whatever comes to your head. Okay, ready?
Why am I crying?
Ready?
Breathe.
That's what I would have done.
Let me gather myself. Oh my God. Why am I in full tears right now?
My stomach really hurts.
Sorry.
That's okay.
That was, I don't know why I was crying.
I've never seen you laugh till you cry before.
Because that was just so funny to me. I don't know why.
Oh, that like awakened something in me.
Like, screet.
Yeah, that's my favorite noise is screet.
Why? I don't know why that gets me every time.
I don't know either.
It always makes me think of it always makes me think of you in this huge square fucking moo thing. And then you with the knife. Like you with the knife. God. Every time you make that noise.
That video my mom got me, I was going, ba, ba. I was going, ba, 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 ba. My mom got me a knife. My mom gets me like a new weapon every year for Christmas. She like gets them for me and all the like the girl cousins.
I can't.
She's like, here's your brass knuckles. Like protect yourselves. She got us like mace one year. This year she got us a big like metal like thing. So if your car goes into the water and you need to break the window.
Oh, it's like a spike.
Yeah. So she gets us like a new weapon every year. And one year it was like a little pocket knife. It's like kind of a joke, but it's kind of cool. And I was like practicing how I'm gonna use it, like ba 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 ba.
That's like my favorite video I think of yours.
And it's so funny because that was such a random video, and I don't think anyone else liked it, but you like loved it.
I think it's the funniest thing, and then you say "screet" at some point, but you're just in this ridiculous like.
No, I know.
Snuggie
it's
thing.
A big
and
ass.
you're just like in a kitchen.
Yeah.
Just like, I'm just imagining you doing that like at your parents' house.
Yeah,
like.
by myself. They don't even like flinch. They were like in the room next to me, just, they don't even care.
What are your parents, when you're making these videos?
They're so used to it.
Are they annoyed?
No, they honestly, they're not anything.
Screet.
They're nothing. Like they don't laugh. They don't get annoyed. Sometimes they laugh, but mainly they're just like, they'll walk by and be like,
just keep it
just
moving.
keep going, making coffee in the background.
Keep it moving.
Do you remember the video I did where I was like making coffee and singing? I had some like really good, hits back in the day.
Wait, that one's good too because
I choked on the Splenda.
Was that real?
It was like real, but I definitely like leaned into it. I felt the need to cough, and I was like, let me just go for it. So that was a good one. Like I've just done so much weird. Remember, I don't know.
You guys have to go back and watch. If you don't know Luisa, which you should, but if you haven't seen all of these videos, just go. It's a treasure trove. If you need a good laugh, because sometimes you're on TikTok and like it's just too much information. Like someone's telling you,
no information.
This is zero information.
Yeah,
it's just pure like mindless scrolling. Like I do that on YouTube Shorts because for some reason on YouTube Shorts I get 1 minute compilation fail videos.
Oh, that's
nonstop,
good.
And they're just like kids getting decked.
Yeah.
Fucking people splitting like
Why is
skateboarding.
it so funny when someone falls?
And I'm just laying in my bed like this, just
giggling.
Losing it.
Yeah.
It's so funny when someone falls.
What we need the internet for sometimes.
Yes.
Because sometimes there's this stuff that's going on that's so dark and there's only so much you can do there. You know,
right.
like from where you are, you can donate, you can spread the word, you can spread resources, but like eventually for a little part of your life, you need to like watch a kid get decked in the head.
Yeah.
It's so funny watching people fall. Wait, speaking of watching people fall, and like big boxy costume, I had to wear the Clippy suit today.
I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's humongous.
What is it like inside of there?
It's like a backpack.
And is it hot?
You wear it. Well, it was freezing outside today,
true.
so I was happy
fine.
to have it. But I did have to do a video in it in like 107 degrees this summer, and you could just tell Clippy's face can't change because it's a costume.
Right.
But you could tell like my body was just like
over it.
Oh, you could tell Clippy was pissed.
This brings me to something that I was thinking about today.
Mm-hmm.
The people inside of Mickey and Minnie at Disney, and the people inside all these like beloved characters at the amusement parks, because you have to fully suspend reality that there is a tiny woman inside of there, or someone that's like 5 feet and under, because Mickey and Minnie are small.
Yeah.
It's like cringy a little bit to think about, like there is just some paid Disney employee inside of there just like doing just over and over, and I don't want to think about it too much because it's like.
Do you know that I dated a guy who I found out was goofy?
Really? Oh, he must have been tall.
Yeah, he was tall. And he's like, I wanted to be a prince, but I didn't have the face for it. I was like, okay.
Okay. Does he have anything? Did he ever tell you anything about that?
Yeah. I'm not telling. Yeah. And that stays between me and him.
That's good. Kidding, I don't know if I want to know because I think it like ruins.
No, I think the only thing he told me is like when you hug a kid, you're like not supposed to let go until they let go.
Right. That's cute.
Yeah.
I mean, for little kids, it's like so sweet to see that, like their characters like coming to life. Like that's so cute.
I feel like for me, I have to use humor in every single situation because otherwise I will get too upset. Like I feel like I'm such an empath that I can get upset about anything. Like if I think about a little kid like hugging Mickey and getting emotional about it and like I'll spiral, so I have to make fun of it instead.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I do.
It's too much. That's like such a defense mechanism.
But sometimes you just need to cry.
No, yeah, for sure.
Have you ever cried in front of your boss?
I cried to my boss recently.
I almost cried to my boss recently.
I just did.
And I was like,
I don't know.
Are we just emotional? Like Libra, emotional, like.
Here's my thing. I was really upset about something at work. Somebody wronged me, to be honest. And I had to tell my manager. And I started crying and I just was like, yeah, I'm genuinely really upset about this. And when I get upset as a person, like I didn't say this, but when I get upset, I cry. And like it shouldn't make me any less professional, any less this or that. It's just something that's going to happen when I'm addressing something that's very like important to me and like whatever. He didn't care at all. He was like really empathetic. Like it was fine.
Well, you have a good boss then.
Yeah, he's the best.
My boss is amazing.
He actually
too.
was commented on your sweatshirt in one of the episodes because he loves Disney.
Oh, cute.
He was like, oh man, I love that sweatshirt.
I love that sweatshirt too.
It's such a good one.
I know. And it's like now I can never wear it again on the podcast.
You can outfit repeat.
Maybe. We're only on episode 5.
That's true. That's true. We don't have to episode.
Maybe episode 105.
Then you can wear it again.
But yeah, I was like getting emotional. Like I was in like my one-on-one with my boss and like just talking about like the new year and like how I really, and I spoke about this at the last episode, just like how.
Do you like your boss?
I love her.
Okay.
Like, I think she's great. She's like one of the best bosses I've ever had in my career.
I feel that way. I really like my manager.
And it's like very, very good for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, I actually had written that down. It's funny that the segue worked out perfectly, but I think that's interesting that.
Yeah, I feel like I cry a lot. I cry
a lot too.
I cry a lot. I have to. It's like how men have to like jack off. I have to cry. Like it has to come out. Like, you know, I have to cry to be healthy. It's like the way that I let my emotions out. And it's just like, I like need it sometimes.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Is there ever a time where you like put something on intentionally so that you can cry?
Sometimes, yeah. I'll go down like a dark hole of
Really?
like rescue dogs, rescue like I went so far that I became vegan. Like that's how far I went. You know what I mean? The internet went gotcha.
Gotcha, girl.
Gotcha, you're vegan now. Like, you know, it gets me going.
I was thinking more of like I will put on like good rom-com movie. Like one that always does it is The Holiday.
Okay. That's a good one.
And also Crazy Rich Asians.
That's sad.
No, not like happy sad.
Oh, I don't remember
Like really?
that movie. I remember Awkwafina's character.
Of course. But like it's just so sweet.
Okay.
And it's like really sweet.
Yeah, sometimes I crave feeling deep emotions.
Happy?
No, well, yes, obviously, but sometimes it's like you gotta cry.
Yeah.
And feel something.
So we hope we don't make you cry, but you should go cry.
We would never. We could never. Also, remember I said I was going to meet with a therapist?
You didn't?
No, so I did. And she's like, so what's going on? I tell her my deepest dark, like because in my mind.
You just jumped in.
In my mind, I'm like, hey, if she's going to be my therapist, let me actually tell her what's wrong with me so she can assess if she's the right person.
Wow, okay.
So I was like, oh, I'm terrified of this and that and
right.
Whatever. It's a lot to say that stuff, right?
You start crying.
No, I didn't start crying, but we get to the end of she goes, okay, so I want to let you know I don't take Etna. I go, what the are you doing here? Sorry, what are we doing here? Why did I just tell you my deepest, darkest everything?
Wait.
She hadn't like updated her psychology today, which like that's so annoying. That's why people don't get therapists because it's draining.
Right.
You know, and
so
now
what are you
I'm like,
gonna do?
I don't want to reach out. I don't know. My sister was like, you have to just keep reaching out to people. And I was like, no, I'm over it.
Fuck.
But I'm not over it. Okay, I have something to tell you quickly. So Maisie, my dog, she's a little chihuahua, for those of you listening. She's afraid of like men and she's afraid of the doorbell and all these things. She has like she's reactive. So I'm working on training her, and my trainer is making me like desensitize her to things. So I have to like play the sound of like the doorbell all day so she can like get used to it. I have to play footsteps. So like in the hallway, there's one that I have to play that's just men talking. Really? And I'm like, what circle of hell is so I'm eating my dinner and I'm just like listening to men talking.
Why don't you just play it while you're not there?
Because I feel bad
leaving her with men talking.
Alone with her, leaving her alone with like her demons around.
What about there's a video that's doorbell repeat.
Yes, on Spotify, they just like have this stuff. And I was thinking of doing this joke in my stand-up and being like, she's afraid of doorbells, so I have to play the doorbell. She's afraid of footsteps outside, so I have to play footsteps. She's afraid of men, so I have to play the Joe Rogan Experience. Like, so I might try that on stage.
You should. Yeah. Do you have any upcoming stage appearances?
Yeah, in February I'll be ramping it back up because I have an audition for something in February that I want to start building a new 5 minutes for, like a fresh new.
How many jokes are in 5 minutes?
It depends how long the bit is, but like maybe like 3 to 5. 3. It depends how much you unpack something, you know? So it's like hard to say, but I want to work on a new 5 for this audition and just really like slam it out of the park.
What would be your perfect excuse to leave?
Oh, like it's made up, but it's
like, so if we're like the next time we're out and we want to leave, other than us Irish exiting, if we needed to tell somebody, and like this is giving away our secrets because whoever, maybe someone is listening to this that we'll have to tell this to.
Irish exit, are you good at that?
I feel like I'm not.
I'm not either. I did it for the first time recently.
I've done it before, but I've also don't feel like I'm good at that.
I'm not either.
Because I'm like, I guess I need to say bye to every single person.
I do this thing
here.
where I go around and I say, I'm going to Irish exit soon. So I'm going to, it's so nice to see you. And I'll go to the next person. I go, I'm going to Irish exit soon. It's like, that's actually the exact opposite of what
you're supposed to do.
Is. So I did it recently at a work event. My work friend was like, just put your fucking hood on and walk into the distance. Walk away.
Right.
Nobody's going to care. And I did it. I just put my hood on and I didn't even say anything. And I was like, that was amazing. Mm-hmm. So I would like to get better at Irish exiting.
Yeah. Or just don't go to events where you feel like you have to
go. Yeah. No, this was a work event and we were like on a boat for 3 hours.
How do you Irish exit on a boat?
Well, I couldn't. I jumped I dove into the water. No, I'm kidding. We got off the boat and everybody was looking for the next bar. Like, what's the next move? And I was like, oh, the next move is me getting in an Uber. But yeah, it's really hard for me not to go around and be like, hey, I'm going to leave. I'm going to Irish exit. Like,
right.
But anyways, if you had to have an excuse to leave somewhere.
Perfect excuse to leave. What would you say?
What do you mean by perfect excuse to leave?
Just like something that is like foolproof. Like there's no questioning of it. Like the person can't come back to you and be like, no, you didn't do that. It's got to be something with a dog.
It's good to go with dog, but it's also good for me with my track record to go with like a GI issue.
GI issue.
Like, hey,
I could do that too, actually.
I'm due in the emergency room.
I have an appointment at the ER.
Like I'm going to the
5 minutes.
ER. Yeah.
I have to go. I just feel like
dog is a good excuse though.
I have to walk the dog. Even though I've only been at the event for 30 minutes, I have to go.
That's kind of a foolproof
It's so good.
excuse because
it's like,
nobody's going to be like.
the only reason to have a dog?
If someone's like, you don't need to walk your dog, and then you can be like,
what? No,
I have to. Are you an animal abuser?
Yeah.
Like, there's no.
I have to walk the dog.
There's no. That's foolproof.
That's like the
That's
go-to.
like number one foolproof.
You don't know my dog.
You don't know my dog's needs.
Also, if you ever have a baby, foolproof.
Well, if you ever have a baby, you don't go anywhere.
You just don't go.
Again.
But I can just imagine like I have to go home and take care of my child.
I have to go home and breastfeed.
That's what I was going to say, but I was hoping you would say it.
Yeah. I have to go home and breastfeed.
I
was advertised on like Instagram. It was like these dresses that you can just like pop it. But the way they showed it, it was just like a dress with one hole, and I was like, perfect.
Like Regina George
I'm
and
just
Mean
gonna
Girls.
get it for like just to wear, not to breastfeed, but just
Just
as a style.
That's the new trend for summer is wearing maternity clothes when you're not pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah. Screet is my go-to. What's another good excuse? I like GI issues. I like dog stuff.
Most of the time.
I'm a little weird about it though. Like I get a little superstitious.
Me too. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't want to lie.
I would never, for example, lie about like a death because I know that like someone would die then.
Because then literally you'd find out 3 days later or whenever like, well, I just started a chain of events with this bad karma.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
I'm definitely superstitious. So I like to pick things where like if it did happen to me, it'd be like, that sucks, but it's karma. I kind of like just being like, I'm so overwhelmed and anxious right now.
That's a good one.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
Like it's an excuse to get out of something, but it's true. Like the other day I was supposed to see my 2 best friends from high school and I did want to go, but I couldn't. And I was just like, you guys, I'm so anxious and I have so much to get done by tomorrow. Like I just can't do it. And people will understand.
Yeah. If they're real ones.
Friends. Yeah.
It's so interesting like how different we are than when like in terms of like things that we do like when did I meet you? 2019?
No, way before that.
2018?
18?
7.
Way before. Probably
1 year.
18.
But like we were different people
Than we are now.
In the sense of like we were crazy, Louisa. Like
no, we were
but
like
that's something
out
that
of
we
control.
wouldn't really do now.
I don't think I have it in me anymore.
Physically.
I think it's just funny that like in your 20s and when you're drinking a lot, like if you're a crazy person the way we are, like you're crazy when you're drinking.
Crazy.
We got so
we put
these wigs on. We were walking through Washington Square Park. We're like, let's get a tattoo.
Got a tattoo.
We got tattoos. Like
losing it.
It's so funny. And then I keep laughing right now thinking about, do you remember when I came to work in the Dumbledore costume? And nobody else was dressed up. And I was just at my desk, like checking emails dressed as Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Like, what were we doing at that job?
It's just, that's your 20s.
It's so fun.
I feel like that's your 20s in New York. Like, just, you are
a
out
liability.
There. Yeah.
Liability.
You are a liability. We have haters.
And that's how you know that we've made it. We have upset the bowling community. Deeply, deeply upset. And I'd like to say, I am so sorry.
We have deeply upset the professional bowling community. And I want to personally apologize because that was not my intention.
I want to repent. And, upon further...
The tournament was happening on a different side of the thing. This was like the recreational bowling. And I am happy for you if you're a professional bowler.
It just goes back to, okay, like starting a podcast and you starting to put your stuff out there. You're going to getting your first comments that are like, this is insensitive or this is mean or this is whatever. It's so weird. It's so weird. And then you get a little more used to it, but it's still weird. But the thing is like, you could say anything. What a harmless... We're talking about how we don't like bowling.
Yeah.
Because we're clumsy and we're bad at it. And it's funny that your boyfriend and his family are all like whipping strikes while you're bad. That is literally the most harmless story.
You're right.
And to upset someone to that level is...
Oh, like paragraphs of comments.
Crazy. Like you can't escape. If you're going to be making content, like you're just... Yeah, people are going to be mad.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Whatever.
But I'm sorry.
Whatever. That was just so bizarre. I was like, what is going on?
Like
what?
I don't know.
Sorry. Well, thank you for listening to Should We Leave? And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. You can watch the full episode on YouTube. And it would be really helpful if you gave us 5 stars and share with your friends.
And honestly, send it to your group chat, okay? Who is it hurting? Send one text for us.
Why not?
If you want.
Smoochies.
Thank you.
Okay. I think
that was good.
That was good.